AskReddit by XD Locked. Who's an idiot that gets treated like a genius? Truman Capote called Andy Warhol the only genius with an IQ of 80. Edit. Apparently it was Gore Vidal who said it, and it was 60. Can't find the actual source, though. My grandparents were friends with Andy Warhol. They said he was basically just a party animal on cocaine all the time. Now, I've known this all my life, but one day when I was like 17 it dawned on me, WTF, were you up to grandma? Ron Hubbard, founder of Scientology. I waffle on this myself if I'm honest. Sometimes I think he's a genius who made a cult for profit. Other times I think he's an imbecile who decided to keep riding the wave he accidentally started. Yeah, he's either a masterful manipulative genius or genuinely psychotic, but considering he made his initial fame by writing sci-fi novels, I'm going with manipulative genius. Easy one. Dr. Phil. Deleted. Marjorie D. Armstrong. Mastermind behind the pizza bombing. Documentaries keep painting her as some master manipulator, but then follow it by saying she can't keep any lie straight for any length of time. The moron tried to rob a bank for the exact amount of money she needed, without having any idea how much they actually kept on hand. Hint, it was only like 3% of the $250,000. The idiot literally turned what would have been an $8,500 robbery into a murder charge. 100% agree. I just think she preyed on lonely, desperate men, one of which happened to be a bomb expert. This guy I work with. Suck it, Jason. Well, fuck you too, Nick. Sean C. Gardner. Just when you think that Reddit is nothing but 15-year-old boys, along comes a 45-year-old joke and everyone gets it. Leopold and Loeb were considered genius killers, but they were really fucking stupid. The Casual Criminalist has a great episode on this subject. https://yahoo.be/4i5nkog-ky0. It is time to commit the perfect murder. Kidnaps a kid that was already known to them, drops a super special pair of glasses with super rare pieces next to the body, gives an alibi that's immediately fucked up by the chauffeur. TBH, I think they got famous less because they were geniuses and more because people in the 1920s were scandalized by the possibility that they were gay. Dr. Phil. He's a horrible person. He uses people who are in emotional crisis to make a ton of money. Of course, a lot of his guests are pretty light in the intellectual department as well. I started watching a documentary about American Apparel founder Dov Charney, who's a pretty gross dude. It interviews a bunch of American Apparel's early employees who talked about the abusive work conditions, but praised Charney as a genius and an incredible motivator. Then they'd cut to interviews with Charney and he was exactly like Bobby Hill's boss from that one episode of King of the Hill. https://www.yahoo.com/watch?FOPBPNS-UG. I used to work at AA in the mid 2000s and it was a culty atmosphere. There were a bunch of young people with fucked up family lives who Dov would let stay at a network of his condos. One girl told me she felt like she had to stay at the company because of him because she had no ties to her family. I remember this one guy showed up at the job one day and said, "Oh, I stayed at Dov's last night. This is his umbrella." Only time I ever met him he kinda fondled my leg and told me the pants didn't fit right. People seem to be confusing asshole with idiot. Yeah, this thread has basically turned into which famous people don't you like? Gary V. The youth pastor of capitalism. All this dude does is tell you what you want to hear without outright saying it, and says things for the sake of generating social media engagement instead of well thought out and heartfelt advice. He's never had the same life situation and vice versa as the demographic he targets, being single directionless 18-28-year-olds who are easily susceptible to make this much money doing this idea. All he did was take his family's luxury wine business that already was successful, selling overpriced bottles of wine to rich Italian and Jewish housewives in New Jersey, and just took it online like every other business did in the 2000s. Your average 20-something-year-old doesn't have that same luxury, obviously, to bankroll all the shit the V is telling them to do, like just start the most random business idea ever or just become an entrepreneur, bro. Gary Vee got comedian Andrew Schultz to open for his vegan conference, and he basically roasted him and nicknamed his followers V-tards. Oprah, Suchadig. Deleted. Andrew Tate. Not a lot of people that even care about him anymore. I think his fans were just punished to oblivion after he went to jail. Vladimir Putin. Hasn't done a single thing right 4 years and turned himself into a paranoid bunker dictator. For some reason there are still a lot of people idolizing him. He was never qualified to run a country. Many people think he was a KGB agent and therefore must be intelligent and cold. The truth is that he worked behind a desk in Dresden as a translator. He was nothing special. Combine that with the fact that he has spent 20 years surrounded by yes men and doing scripted interviews reaffirming his belief that he is a genius. He's a hero for people who are easy to manipulate. I expected Elon to be on top. He will be disappointed if he sees this thread. I was shocked that it took me until the 5th comment to find Ellen. Then I realized that this comment is more upvoted than the 4 listed above it combined, on my phone, at least. Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil. Trump. There are people out there making memes of him martyred upon the cross as though he's Jesus. Weirdest shit ever. Uspez. No one's treating him like a genius. I think a lot of people misinterpreted the question. DeGrasse is certainly smarter than me, but he says a lot of dumb shit. I've never heard of someone referred to by just their middle name before. Most billionaires. It's easy to appear as though you're smart when you have enough money to be able to afford a lifetime's worth of free time to research and learn about your interests or business desires. Then once you have the first few million, wealth can exponentially increase with the right moves. Elizabeth Holmes. Morrissey. Don't get me wrong. I love a lot of the stuff from the Smiths and his early solo career, through the 90s. But he is now a bitter, delusional idiot. I feel sorry for him in a way because I suspect his depression has gotten a lot worse as he's aged, and that's not going to improve anyone's intellect or personality. Vegan Ted Nugent. Jim Cramer. Tony Robbins. If I was 6'4" with a booming voice, teeth like bathroom tile and total utter self-confidence, I could make money giving speeches too. Can I? Narendra Modi. Man, I don't even have to tell you much, just look at the kind of stories the media runs of him. The man is a god for them at this time. Zuckerberg. Stole an idea. Hired a great COO, Sheryl Sandberg. Rode it to riches. Losing money ever since she left. British historian David Starkey. He is only a historian in the matter of Tudor England, 1485-1603. Apart from that, he is a complete moron, and I do not need to get started on his political views, especially the crap that he said about slavery in 2020 or what he said at the National Conservative Conference this year. He is basically the older and slightly more intelligent version of Milo Yiannopoulos, not that it says much about either. I quoted Starkey once in an essay at university in my first term. I very soon realized that that was not a smart move.